What's up, everybody? So I'm not in the most usual room right now. I'm sorry if there's echo or any traffic or toilets flushing, which I've heard about 20 times already. I'm in a random meeting room that I found in the hotel where there's nobody here. So this is where I'm gonna be recording. And I know it's a little bit off-putting and it hasn't been the greatest video content for the past couple of days. While the camera and the area might not be the best, I'm still trying to bring you guys some interesting content. This video I think is a pretty cool idea. We're gonna be doing the top five Saints to watch this season that I think are gonna be really good and make up for past years where they may have not done so well. I don't remember who this idea was suggested by. I think it was a couple of people actually in the recommendation section. So shout out to you guys. I really appreciate the idea. It's a good one. And I'm gonna be doing 5 players to watch that are going to be good this season, in my opinion. So you guys post your own list down in the season or down in the comment section below. Let me know who your top 5 New Orleans Saints players to watch are, because of course your guys' opinion is definitely the greatest thing, the highlight of my day every time I'm able to see it. So before I get into this video, a lot of you may know, or some of you may know, I started a fishing channel. And I'm going to be posting fishing videos on there soon because I just want a little bit of something to break up the monotony a bit. I have a passion for filmmaking, and that's limited when you're reporting. So this will not slow down this channel at all. There will still be 2, 3, maybe even 4 uploads a week on this channel. But the fishing video channel will be getting at least 2 videos a week. So if you like fishing, which if you like football and fishing go hand in hand. So it's called Backyard Bass, and the link will be in the description. I'm at 57 subscribers on there right now. I want to be at 100 subscribers before I make my first video on that channel, just so I have a little bit of an audience. So I would appreciate, even though you guys have done so much for me already, if you would go subscribe to that channel down in the description below. I'm only going to be mentioning that in this video and the next video I put out, but I just thought I'd let you guys know for those that care. So let's go into today's video. Top 5 New Orleans Saints to watch next season. The first player I have on this list, in no particular order, these are just my 5 players we strongly need to watch, Alvin Kamara. And I think there's a pretty good reason why, but let's go ahead and look into some of his 2019 stats. Alvin Kamara played 14 games with 171 rushes. He had 797 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. He also had 81 receptions with 533 receiving yards, but only 1 receiving touchdown. The problem with Alvin Kamara last year was his lingering ankle injury that set him back and reportedly only allowed him to play up to 70% of what he's capable of, according to him on Instagram and Twitter. The biggest way to see this is by looking at Alvin Kamara's receiving numbers. Like I said, in 2019, he had 81 receptions for 533 receiving yards. The problem here is that he also had 81 receptions in both of the seasons before 2019. So in every season that he's played, he's had 81 receptions. In 2017, he managed to pick up 826 receiving yards compared to this year's 533, and he also picked up 709 receiving yards in 2018, which is significantly more than what he put up in 2019. Kamara was limited in his ability to turn up field, juke, and just overall be balanced, which is his greatest strong suit, because of that injury. He just was not the same explosive player. Look for him to get that explosiveness back in 2020. I think he will be just as important of an asset as he was in years past. I think he will get those 14 rushing touchdowns he had in 2018 back. I don't think he's going to have another 5 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown season. He's going to be a factor, a really big factor on if we win games or not. Don't be afraid to pick him up in fantasy this year. A healthy Alvin Kamara is going to, a 100% healthy Alvin Kamara is going to be an absolutely terrifying sight to other NFL teams. Expect him to be an easy decision as a top 5 running back next year. And I know that may sound like a big task to complete, but Alvin Kamara has shown in the past he does have the ability to do it. He just needs to have the health to back it up. So my first player on this list is Alvin Kamara, running back, number 41. The next player we have on this list is someone that some of you may disagree or agree with. I'm not sure. There's a lot of split decisions for this player right here. I have Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport, I think it's a good solid pick for this kind of list. In 2019, Marcus Davenport played 13 games, of which he started every single one of them. He had 6 sacks, 31 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 3 forced fumbles. The problem with Davenport is absolutely not his production. He can produce. It's not his production whatsoever. The problem is his availability. He has missed 6 games already over his 2-year career, which is not exactly ideal. He would catch on fire, looking like he was going to have a double-digit sack season, just to be sat out with an injury. In 2018, he missed 3 games due to turf toe after having 4 sacks in just 7 games. After those 7 games with 4 sacks, he would only obtain half a sack before the season came to a close. Talk about being completely derailed by just a couple of missed games by injury. In 2019, he suffered a foot injury that ended his season. If it wasn't for multiple tweaks throughout 2019 and that extremely bad foot injury that ended up sidelining him for the rest of the year, he could have easily had a 10-sack season instead of a 6-sack season. Look for Davenport's full potential to outright shine this year. He isn't a bust. He just needs to stay on the field and stay healthy and be available. Sometimes availability is better than ability. That's not it in this case. I think he has a perfect ability ratio. He just needs that availability there to mush together and make him what I like to call him when he's playing well, and that is a baby Cameron Jordan. We just need to support him as fans and hope that the injuries subside. I'm ready for Marcus Davenport's takeover. I'm ready for him to be a legitimate leader on this defense. And I'm ready for him to put up the numbers that we thought he would, trading away essentially 2 first-round picks for him. But let's move on to the next player. And this one is something I think a lot of you, if not all of you, will agree with. Gardner Johnson. In 2019, Gardner Johnson played 16 games. He started 7 of them. He had 1 interception for 28 yards, 8 passes defended, and a forced fumble. He also picked up a fumble and ran it for 37 yards. This is a little interesting tidbit to throw in there. He had 49 total tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 4 quarterback hits to go along with that. Gardner Johnson had a 72.7 Pro Football Focus grade, which I know Pro Football Focus isn't gospel, but it's something we can all understand and gauge off with that. 72.7 is a pretty good grade. Definitely above average. It's actually in the good section, above average. So for his first season to be that way is a really, really good sign. Gardner Johnson was a bit of a Swiss Army knife for the New Orleans Saints, playing 50 or more snaps as, get this, slot cornerback, box safety, free safety, and edge defender, which is absolutely insane. He's extremely versatile and strong, which are 2 great aspects to have as a modern-day defensive back. Most of his time was spent at slot corner with 268 snaps played, and his play there is the main reason I'm so impressed with him as a player and have given him a spot on this list. Among all defenders with 25 or more slot targets, Gardner Johnson's 77.3 Pro Football Focus coverage grade ranks 4th over the entire NFL. His 29.6% forced incompletion rate on those slot targets is the best in the league. That's insane. The Saints got this dude in the 4th round. You're telling me a 4th round pick rookie was the greatest slot defender as far as forcing incompletions go, which what more do you want? Absolute beast. He's an absolute dog that deserves nothing but respect for his more than admirable job in 2019. The slot receiver is becoming bigger and bigger as a part of the NFL, as a part of NFL offenses, and Gardner Johnson proved his worth by eliminating them from multiple football games this season and taking those passes away. Expect nothing but better from Gardner Johnson in 2019. He played great as a rookie. Why wouldn't he be even better after marinating in his new defense for an entire year? He knows his playbook, knows his role, and knows straight up how to play football. I'm excited to see this young man right here work because Gardner Johnson's got it, and there's nothing you could say to tell me otherwise. Next, we have Jared Cook. His 2019 stats read as follows: 14 games, 43 receptions, 705 yards, and 9 touchdowns. This dude had 16.4 yards per reception average. Jesus Christ, that's absolutely insane. Jared Cook is someone that is so underrated as far as the Saints offense goes. He started off slow at the beginning of the season, only having 168 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns throughout his first 6 games as a Saint. Let me repeat that. He only had 168 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns in his first 6 games as a New Orleans Saint. He then got hurt against the Jacksonville Jaguars and missed 2 straight games, which gave him fuel to come back and be an absolute monster. He had 537 yards and 7 touchdowns in his last 8 games of the season. If Jared had played the same way he did in the first half of the season compared to the second half of the season, he would have finished the year with 1,074 yards and 14 touchdowns. I had to reiterate, because if he was comfortable with Drew Brees and he was comfortable in his role with the New Orleans Saints, and if he was comfortable with how he would be playing in this offense, it would have been insane. Drew Brees would have had his number 2 target, which was Jared Cook last year, all the way, and Lord knows what he could have accomplished. Jared Cook is going to be an absolute beast with a full season of comfortability this year. Watch out for him terrorizing every defense on our schedule. The next player I have is Deonte Harris. His 2019 stats read as follows. 14 games played. As a wide receiver, he had 6 receptions for 24 yards. As a punt returner, he had 36 returns for 388 yards and a touchdown. As a kick returner, he had 24 returns, 644 yards, and 0 touchdowns. He got hoed from a couple of touchdowns, honestly. He should have had a couple of more, but it's whatever. Deonte is something special. He can be used in many ways. He already proved to be an amazing returner in both kick and punt situations, and also has the speed and hands to become a fast little weapon in the 2020 New Orleans Saints offense. I know you remember that catch against Minnesota. Anyway, Deonte is someone we should all look forward to as far as players go. Sean didn't see Deonte's explosiveness coming right away necessarily. So now that he knows and has time to sit there and acknowledge and get knowledge of his play style to implement him in the 2020 New Orleans Saints offense, he's definitely someone to watch and is definitely someone that could really come out here and make a difference. I think he ran a 4.4, but on the field it doesn't look like that way. It doesn't look like he runs a 4.4. It looks like he's significantly faster, and that's something I'm extremely excited to see be put to work by this fantastic coaching staff. So, let me know if you guys agree. My list is Alvin Kamara, Marcus Davenport, Gardner Johnson, Jared Cook, and Deonte Harris. Those are my 5 players the New Orleans Saints should be looking forward to succeeding this season. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think. Make sure to subscribe to Backwater Bassin. That link, it will be in the description, and I appreciate it. Love you guys, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios.